Hey, how you guys doing? This is the producer from Brothers Comics. Welcome to the Marvel Hack Season 11, Episode 4. We've been gone for about 2 months, man. Life and then holidays, Christmas, actually
Life,
Thanksgiving,
sleep.
Christmas, New Year's. I mean, we really been off a full 2 months. When I look back at the SoundCloud link, it was like, man, your last podcast was 2 months ago. Didn't really seem that long, but we're back into it. We're
SoundCloud
going.
about did a wellness check on you.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, man. Hey, you can't send police to black people's houses. That's a no. Won't end well. So yeah, man, we are still in our X-Men 1991 recap. We are on issue number 4. We're going to go all the way up to issue number 25. At this pace, maybe in 2025 by the time we get there. But yeah, we're going to get up to the point where Wolverine, spoiler alert, gets his adamantium pulled out. On the line tonight, I have the full complement of Marvel Hacks. On the line to Sandman. Sandman, say what's happening.
Oh, damn. Everything's different. I got a webcam now. It works.
Yeah, no,
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
no.
Moving up in the
Congrats.
world. Yeah, impressive.
Sandman got a fresh cut too. If you're watching on the YouTube,
Yes, sir.
man.
Yes,
got
sir.
some waves up in there, man.
Yeah,
I can smell the Murrays from here, bro.
Yeah.
I can smell Murrays from here. Also on the line tonight, outside of Xavier's mansion, it's a Brother Beavis. What's going on, man?
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
It has been a very long while.
I probably had some pretty good material in their intervening weeks, but I forgot it all.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, just throw them in there, man. Y'all, your jokes will be more entertaining than these books. On the line tonight. It's Big Hush. What's going on, man?
Okay, what's up?
Yeah, so we're all back together.
Mr. Electricity.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he's TAF if you're on the video. That stands for tired as fuck. Yeah, so by the time you see or listen to this, who knows if the world will be on fire or the democracy has fallen. So we're gonna take an hour or so to possibly listen to this into the oblivion, or just to distract yourself from watching hours of CNN or whatever here, as the world literally is on fire and the president is Nero, just twiddling away at the violin there. So we won't get into that too much. I'm sure there'll be some jabs here and there because that's just what we do. But yeah, we're gonna talk vanilla big man villains tonight, y'all. We're one of the best ones from the 90s. Hutch just made an admission before we started recording that he enjoyed him. Tonight's issues are issues number 4 and 5 of X-Men from 1991. The full-on introduction of Omega Red. He had been teased in a couple of the previous
Shadow
issues.
paneled.
Yeah, but he is back and he is here and he is super 90s, Hutch. And you admitted to liking this character initially, you said.
Yes, I liked Omega Red when he first came out. Like I said, they made that posse of, what were they called? Not the Canadian super soldiers.
Upstarts.
Yeah, whatever. The Maverick, Deadpool, Wolverine.
That group.
Yeah,
I thought
that group of
Weapon X, Team Weapon X, or
whatever. Team Weapon X, something scrap. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. So of that group, of course, I like Wolverine. I hate Deadpool now. I hate Deadpool then. Maverick is useless. So hey, let's go with I guess he'd be the John Lennon of the group.
Come on, man. That's just awful. He's the quintessential 90s big man. My note in here says I should have introduced him in Vince McMahon voice. Omega Red.
Or you could have, since you used the word quintessential, you could have Joel Gertnered him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just he's awful, Brother Beavis. He's just an awful character.
I feel like they spun a wheel with powers on it, like villain powers.
The Ultimate Powers book.
And they kept getting spin again, and they ended up with like a combination of like 5 things that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's just awful.
White pasty face.
Yeah.
Nebula. Random electronics built into skin.
Yeah, nebulous
tentacles, death aura, invulnerability, crazy space metal. Yeah. Ponytail.
And a wacky accent. We don't get to hear it in this book, but when they put it onto the cartoon, they definitely gave you the wacky accent too. So yeah, it's just
he's Russian.
Yes, Russian, but he's bad TV cartoon Russian.
Well,
He's got the Omega symbol on his
how we
arm
know?
and
How
the
we know good
headband.
Russian?
And the headband. That's
He's
right.
got the headband.
Hey, we saw Nikita Koloff. We know good Russian when we hear it.
Leave Nikita.
He's more American than I am.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So since we last left, Chris Claremont also left this book. The first 3 issues was the Magneto story arc. Chris Claremont
Hold it.
put up the 2 fingers
Deuces.
and he left out. And so it left the plotting and pencils to Jim Lee. And that's not a great idea, y'all. He is going to cut his teeth at making mediocre books with really attractive females drawn in them between time to time. And that's pretty much it. The weird part about this is this book picks up is John Byrne is actually like comes in, I guess, to probably help him with the plotting. So he gets the assist. So John Byrne back on the X-Men book, but not, I think he's scripting where the plots are Jim Lee.
But can't you see, like, if they leave it up to all the artists, like who they're going to pick in the divorce, right? Like if
The
it comes
women.
down to Claremont and Byrne, can't you just imagine that they're like, oh, you know, we got to have this creative team. There had to have been friction between Jim Lee and Chris Claremont,
for sure.
and so he went with the other parent.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a Marvel stick it to you too. You know, like, oh, really? You're gonna leave? Yeah, we're gonna put this dude that you made great books with, but you probably hate a little bit. We're gonna put him back on you, baby. Yeah, yeah. It's just a mess. So he's gonna be doing this, but Jim Lee's run on this is only going to last 8 issues. The final issue of that is on my T-shirt, which is issue number 11. So we're gonna get through that and out of the Jim Lee era and into the. I don't even know who jumps on this book after that.
Isn't it Andy Kubert?
Is it Kubert that's on the
I
art?
think so.
You're
I
right.
saw like a future episode, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
who's writing it though? At that after that is I don't think it's Scott Lobdell yet. That's coming soon, and who's going to be
who's writing it?
Very long.
I think they had a wheel of plot, and they kept hitting spin again. And,
That's the theme.
Yes. All right, so we're just you're going to see the cut teeth of Image comic books with Jim Lee here. I mean, he was probably forced to put these books out on time. I wasn't collecting books at the time, but I would imagine they were probably a little bit late. And as you'll notice, if you are reading along, the artwork starts to fall apart, especially in issue 5. Like near the end of that book is like a whole nother person is drawing that book.
Probably was.
Yeah, it's a mess. All right. So here we go. So let's get into the book now. Issue number 4. Well, let's talk about this cover at first. There's Jubilee. I mean, I guess anybody into that?
Female Robin.
Yeah. I mean,
the funny thing is, there's like in the book, there's essentially this panel, but it's a different set of people, and so like they decided that Gambit and Jubilee were the featured characters on here. Yeah, and you know we're still in the midst of Gambit's push, but that kind of makes sense. But Jubilee,
yeah.
Who's drawing it now?
But you know what though, he doesn't give her the freaking overtly sexual stuff. He saves that.
Doesn't Riri Williams her?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He doesn't do that yet.
If we want to hold Jim Lee up for that, he could have put Psylocke on the cover. That would have. But yeah.
Well, there's a moment in these books that we're going to go over. That, So lots of 90s goodness in this book. That's sarcasm. And so we open it up with some people else that suck. The Hand. The Hand suck, y'all. Come on, man. The Hand. Really?
They're better than AIM, but
that's
barely.
And Hydra.
At least they're ninjas.
Yeah.
I'll say that before there was a bunch of them in the Daredevil Netflix series, when it was just like one, and they tried to sell them as like almost like zombie ninjas. I think there was something there, but then they just became like faceless minions to get beat up. So.
Yep. It's just not good. So they're there. Omega Red gets the Jesus revival. They lay on some hands to bring back the mummified Omega Red. And his mutant death factor. That's a super Image power, by the way. Super Image. He's got a death factor. Oh, okay. So a lot of people die like immediately. You know, the Hand die, and I live. You know, you get your Frankenstein thing here with Omega Red. Like, he sucks. I don't think I can say it anymore. Like, he's just an awful character. he sucks, man. He just sucks. I'm sorry.
Pure
I don't
90s.
understand how you like this character at any point.
Like I said, I'm supposed to believe the other two monkeys or the other two Beatles.
Yeah, I guess.
They suck. I mean, Deadpool. Ugh.
Well, but wait, Omega Red wasn't part of the team. That team went against Omega Red.
You're
all together.
You're conflating.
No.
Yeah.
Did you read this book?
I can't read this shit. Talk about a 30-year-old book.
Yeah,
Jeez.
this is true.
I read it 20 years ago.
Yeah, we get this full reveal of Omega Red. We almost see his 3-piece set, cock and balls, almost, but they do shadow that out. And then he sees who is actually.
He's got some shrinkage, I think.
Yeah, well, he's been dead for a while. I would imagine he's all tucked in. So
actually, that grows, don't it, when you're dead?
Well, I don't know. Yeah. So we get a chance to see who brought him back, who brought him back to life. And I keep thinking this is Hiro Matsuo, but it's not, right? Who is this dude? Is that who it is? Is it Matsuo?
Matsuo Matsuraba? Something?
Is that what it is?
I don't know like who he is in the grander scheme.
Yeah.
He was the Mandarin's ally when Psylocke came back, but where he fits in the overall like pantheon, I don't really know.
I keep wanting to call him Shinobi Shaw, but I know that's not him.
He can bring on all the Asian characters he can think of. That's what you do.
So yeah, he's either Sunfire or
it's
like 2 or 3 that we can mention.
Yeah. Well, so he's like, hey, I live. Why am I here? And he's like, oh, I'm gonna, show your old friend. He brings out Wolverine's, I don't know, freaking yearbook picture or something from somewhere, and he's like, oh, Logan, and then that's it. So the title of the book is The Resurrection of the Flesh. Jim Lee, John Byrne, Scott Williamson on the inks or whatever. And we get into this. And this is a familiar theme here as we get into the book about this idea of the X-Men playing sports, at least a 90s theme. I don't know if it continued in some of the other books, but in the 90s, it's usually them playing baseball. Because you can get a lot of characters on the thing and they go out there and play baseball. This time it's basketball, and which is kind of weird because they do recreate this scene in, I think it's season 3 of the X-Men cartoon, whichever is the Phoenix season, that first episode where they where the thing goes down into the Morlock tunnels, whatever. They kind of recreate this scene, so it's a little bit of 2-on-2, but Gambit and Jubilee versus Rogue and Wolverine shooting it up. And then Gambit's a baller, y'all. Sandman Gambit is in some goddamn jorts and some fucking fingerless gloves out here balling out here on the basketball court at Xavier's.
Yeah, not only that, but apparently he has the powers of Spider-Man all of a fucking sudden. Literally throwing the ball up and then instantly jumping up to it and all kind of bullshit he couldn't do before. I hate Gambit.
Wow. Strong words.
That's strong, man.
That 90s character. Yeah.
Hutch, seriously, how high is that rim he dunking on, man? 6 feet, 8?
Maybe Wolverine could dunk.
Man, come on, bro.
There is a pretty funny sequence where it looks like he's dunking at the same time. It looks like he just literally walked over to the rim, grabbed it, and lifted his legs up. But that might be what it is. But you can see the brand on his shoes. It's actually wearing Reeboks. So
no, that's not good. Well, and that's the funny thing is Jubilee, as he's balling out, references essentially the Spike Lee, Michael Jordan commercials. Money is at the shoes. As he's just going all over the place, and she's like saying all these things at the shorts. Is it shoes? All of that. And Rogue is a damn sore loser, man. What the hell?
Well, there's also like a weird swapping thing going on here because it's Wolverine and Jubilee are the one couple versus Rogue and Gambit the other, and they swap partners.
400-year-old dude and the
12-year-old,
the 12-year-old, I like how Rogue doesn't. They're like, you can't use your powers, and I guess well, his agility is his powers. So back to Sandman, like, well, so what are you? What are you, freaking Spider-Man?
Exactly.
It's wild. I mean, it's just a kind of a fun scene or whatever. But like I said, they do recreate that in X-Men the animated series later on.
Mm.
And then Wolverine is also a sore
It's
loser
4
as
pages,
well.
by the way.
Yeah. Oh no, they gave it a lot.
Speaking of pages, we didn't have to pay for or had to pay for, whatever the line is. 4 pages of the X-Men playing basketball.
Yeah. And it comes back to more actually. Like it keeps coming back to this particular thing. It is what it is. So now, we're using powers now. Bet. Gambit, like, first you charge the ball, and and freaking Jubilee puts on her freaking sunglasses or whatever. I mean, Hutch, you don't like the best man playing some sports, bro? Like, that's not you.
It's awful.
See, I'm not alone.
Yeah, but you don't hate Gambit.
Yeah.
I'm not, and he's not on the wall.
Yeah.
John Wick is up there for some reason.
Yeah, Omega Red is up there.
Oh God, yeah, he is. Yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
Is that Angel? Oh God.
That's Angel. Yeah.
And
You got a
not
Dazzler
Archangel,
figure
just
up there too?
regular Angel.
Hey, you about to catch it, sir.
Is Rom up there too? You got a Rom? Is that a
Rom and
Build-A-Figure Rom?
He's got the Rom and Dazzler 2-pack.
Y'all can about to find my incredible Bozak.
Yeah, nice. So in between the NBA on NBC, we get a cut scene here with Moira having PTSD about this thing that happened with Magneto in the previous 3 issues. To recap, she did something that she shouldn't have done. It really didn't matter. Well, it didn't matter. Like, I mean, they sold that as a big old thing, but it didn't really matter.
Right,
Whatever. Honestly, every time I see a Moira scene now, all I can think about is which life it is.
Exactly.
To be honest with you, I mean, anything with her.
And Magneto's a loser all the time. He's Daffy Duck.
Yeah, I had the same reaction, producer. I was, I think it's interesting. Like her scenes have a little bit different weight because now you're wondering, like, what life is it? What did she learn from this? How does this factor into the future? That actually that was a great twist for her character arc, and it's unfortunate that didn't really pay off the way we all hoped. But now to go back and see her in these stories, all they ever did was sort of retread the Proteus arc, and now, like you said, they're trying to sell this Magneto storyline like it was big. It wasn't.
Yeah. It wasn't.
But if you think about it in terms of the rest of her story and the different lives and things like that, it's kind of cool. Somebody's going to be like, oh, we already had this in mind, and if you go back to here and here, you can see this. I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah.
You can go read it now and read it into it, but don't ever suggest that was always
even alive when this shit came out.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, like, looking back and reading this, it just makes me mad that whatever happened in that particular story just never finished. They were just like, oh yeah, we did this really cool thing. We don't know how to finish it. And now we're fighting swords. Now they're in space. And I saw, like, in some recent comics the other day, I was like, you know what? No, thank you. We're good. I don't even want to. It's too much to even try to even think about going back to try to figure it out. So yeah, no new comics. But yeah, some pretty good artwork here though by Jim Lee. This is some good stuff. He definitely busted his nut in the early parts of the book, because later on he has no jizz left. So she wakes up screaming. Cyclops comes in full yellow panties, by the way, with his pseudo daddy, and Banshee is still hurt, so he can't talk. So he does this thing, or Xavier does this thing where he links everybody's minds together so he can talk to her or whatever. It's kind of weird though, by the way, because Charles also smashed.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of weird?
And he brings it up all the time. He's like, oh no, you guys are tight. I know you're close now, but we did smash. It's like he always makes it awkward.
And he knows it. It is in their all in their mind.
Yeah.
And I can share it. Ugh, bald head dude on top of
He was like, I was all up in her guts and her mind, son.
Like, we connected on all the levels. Literally, I made my feet roll.
What the?
Oh, I hate that Banshee has on a New York Pricks and Dicks shirt, by the way. That's the NYPD. Anyway, so your emotions were so raw, that drove me to the room even before you started screaming.
Yeah, that's
because we smashed.
Yeah, because we smashed. So, and as they're discussing this, as Moira was so upset, they get interrupted by the basketball game. So yeah, that happens. But then we get another cutscene, y'all, and now we get off to Berlin. This is with the big block letters like the Russo brothers. Berlin. And then we get the introduction to Fenris. This is a very much
twins.
This is a very much image freaking thing too. This is very much image, like 90s image with brothers, sisters, cousins, or whatever, as like the villains tend to be a little bit younger, always Caucasian. This is super image from the 90s, man.
But to be fair, the Fenris twins have been around prior to this.
Yeah, understood.
They have.
We were awful before.
They sucked in too.
Yes.
Yeah. If you look at some of the background art here too, like the shot behind Matsuo or whatever, like it's starting to fall apart, but it gets worse as it goes
What
on.
art behind him?
Yeah.
The solid color.
Yeah. So they're trying to become, like, I guess what they're the upstarts. Now, what are the relation of these two to Baron von Strucker? Are they his bastards?
They're his kids, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He did somebody, and
Yeah. Okay.
I think he also smashed Moira. And
Wait,
no,
what?
Just kidding. just kidding. Just jokes, people.
What life was that?
I wouldn't have doubted it if it was true, but still.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Give Hickman a chance. He'll put it all together.
Yeah.
Oh God.
She has chain garters on her Kang boots.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that.
Yeah, and open toed.
Oh, what the hell? And the boob window.
Yes, and the boob window.
Oh,
Oh, wow, it's a power girl boob window.
Yeah, Hutch. This is the whole Garfunkel group, man. All oats. Like, I mean, there's just nobody good. All Garfunkels, bro.
But yes, this is a bunch of D-list, E-list scrubs.
Yeah, this is terrible. And that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you go from Magneto to this group here? I mean, again, I guess and then to Mojo. Like, you're just screaming down the hill here.
Yeah,
well, and the upstarts set up the other book. They're the opening villain in the other book.
And the Uncanny.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The Kevin Sullivan of villains.
Come on.
The Paul Jones Army versus the X-Men.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Baron von Raschke.
Yeah, we got Baron von Raschke here, right?
Who's still alive, by the way. I still haven't gotten over that. All right. So we get interrupted back to the basketball game. All they wanted to know was the resurrection successful? That was basically it in that part. We get back to the basketball game, and then we start to get this more of this thing that, with eventually ends with them being married, 25 years later, 30 years later, with Gambit and Rogue. He's still trying to push up to smash. She doesn't want to because Cody. And we have this whole situation here where he tries to steal a kiss. It doesn't really work out. At least at a point, that's something that they stuck with. They still made them like the B-list couple of the X-Men, when probably over time, using a wrestling term, they probably should have been pushed to that level, whereas Jean and Scott should have taken a step back, but it just really never happened. I mean, I guess it happened now, but Jean
did you ever discuss how did Rogue go from the way she started to becoming, she is a member of the Fabulous Five?
Yeah, she's in the Avengers.
I mean, but I'm saying how she went from being, stole old girl's powers, and then she showed up at the door step, got her ass beat, or almost got her. Yeah, she did get her ass beat, and then all of a sudden she's in the damn main person in the comics. She's in the damn cartoons. She's in the movies. What the hell? What happened to Colossus?
Well, I don't know that we talked about it, but I definitely remember. Like, I don't know where the switch got flipped, but I remember back when we were doing Secret Wars, like, that Rogue is drastically different here. She's got like no confidence. She's basically one shot and she's out. But you're right, I think it just comes from that intervening period where it was like the Dazzler, Long Shot, Havoc team she was just on top of, like, she was the strongest person in that team. And I think just came out of it. It's kind of, I guess it's like 90s WCW. Once Flair and the Horsemen leave, somebody's got to hold the title, right?
Like, you went from, it wasn't Sting, it was fucking, it wasn't even Luger. Who the fuck? They gave it to Booker T. That's what Rogue.
Hey. No Booker T slander, sir. No Booker slander.
He ain't got nobody.
Mm-mm. Five-time world champion, sir.
He can't even count to 5.
Oh my God!
Here's where Big Hutch tries to tell us Stevie Ray was actually the better part of the Harlem Heat.
You'll never hear that from this Big Hutch.
That's captain of the NWOB team, and he wasn't even good at that.
Stiff.
Yeah. And then we keep moving in between stories. Moira is really going through it, because she's just feeling so guilty about what she did. Again, it is what it is at this particular point. It's going to end up with something else. But we're really just trying to get to this part where we're getting to the date night. So Gambit has somehow finagled a date out of Rogue. They're going to go out on a date. Gambit also smoking cigarettes. I don't know how that got past the goddamn comic book code. Certainly wouldn't be able to happen now. And
all the gratuitous shots in this thing.
Oh, it gets worse or better depending on your perspective or whatever. So yeah. So they're going to go. He's got his motorcycle out there waiting. And then we get the reveal of Rogue and what she's going to later describe as her nicest dress. And I'm like, okay. This looks like something a dude would draw. Look at her boobs.
Yeah.
It's what in the world?
They were push-up bras.
Sir, there ain't no bra in there. It just looks like a really bad boob job is actually what it looks like. And then the matching lace on top and bottom. That's just not gonna work.
Looks like something a comic book artist would put
in. And something that we talked about in previous podcasts where we always talked about Xavier cock blocking. The whole damn team cock block. Gambit's like, it's about to go down. No, it's not, sir. I mean, the whole damn team. So I did have a question written in here.
Is she like 18 or 19 in this?
She's supposed to be young-ish. Yeah.
Rogue?
Be young-ish. Yeah, she's still young-ish. Yeah. Voted for MAGA or not MAGA? Rogue.
Mississippi. Oh, come on, man.
MAGA as fuck.
MAGA.
Right. Magneto is MAGA.
Yeah, well, I think we talked about that too. And shit. I mean, keeping 100. Gambit probably MAGA too.
Hey, everybody that's white isn't MAGA. Come on.
Hold up. But they from the South. He's from the South.
From Mississippi.
Yeah, come on, man.
He never voted.
Probably can't.
He's got warrants.
Or green eye.
I got charges.
Gambit got charges.
Oh, it's awful. So yeah, everybody shows up for his date. He's not happy. My other question on here, I was like, okay, ain't none of these niggas got job. Who paying for this? They whip out Xavier's card. They rip out Xavier's American Express card.
I think they hawk Shi'ar technology every time they run out of cash.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, come on. That's terrible. Somebody got to pay for this shit. And I guess it's Xavier. I would assume.
Xavier ain't got no money.
You're balling, sir.
Wasn't it Angel bankrolling before?
Grants. Government grants, and all the time he pays for all them. Every time he gets out of them damn wheelchairs because his legs are busted up. I know them bills are sky high.
He's got disability checks.
And that chair costs a whole lot of fucking money.
He donated to Betsy DeVos, I think, and she helped him out and went through the school. Got him some school grants.
Yeah,
so yeah,
right. He on that Fed money, but
man,
the same government trying to kill him. Yeah,
right.
So they leave. Us. So everybody leaves for the date. It's Beast, Rogue, Gambit, Wolverine, and Jubilee tagging along here. And then again, Moira's going through it. She just can't be here anymore. So she gets in the cab. Yeah, it's really over the top. And I can't remember how this pays off. So I would imagine it has to pay off in some sort of way.
He gets killed.
So back towards the date, they're on the motorcycle. Rogue has put on one of those little thing. I don't know what they call them to protect her
Bonnets?
hair, I guess, or whatever. Yeah, bonnet. I don't think white people call them bonnets, but
Shawl.
there you go. Thank you.
Sebastian Shaw. Yeah.
That's a fucking SAT word. So yeah, so and Gambit is the ultimate gentleman as he's riding his motorcycle
saw that
around
too.
down the road. He's just like, oh, tripwire, let me duck. And you get taken out completely by this tripwire. So he's
Damn.
like, she's invulnerable. She's mostly invulnerable or whatever. And so we get the attack, so are these dudes hands that just took their mask off? Like, who are the dudes in red?
I think so. I think they might say later, but I think it is the hand.
Just a hand.
What I thought. Well,
I have no idea.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, and then you get some tentacles.
Yay!
Not testicles, tentacles.
Well,
So
who's to say?
yeah, well, you never know. And then we get an attack by the hand. It's comic book fight. It's just whatever.
It's about time. Shit. We went to a soap opera, a basketball game.
Yeah.
Fashion faux pas. What the hell? Give me a fight.
Yeah, I understand. And then the bike crashes, and then we get them jumping out of the car like in full uniform and regalia now. And then there's the stare at the camera shot. And anytime Beast is staring at the camera, he's snarling, y'all.
Right.
And here's that cover shot, except it's Beast instead of Gambit.
Yeah,
right.
There it is.
I'm gonna get some action.
Yeah, it's just, comic book fight, rah, 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 and nothing really. But then suddenly, I'm feeling
Beast
sick.
does have a good punch to the face on the next page.
This is the first
yeah. Yeah. But Gambit Jubilee and Beast are like, oh, I feel sick. Oh,
the fever.
Yeah, I got something going on. And then it's like, oh, what's going on? Who? What? Oh, it can't be you. You're dead. But it's not. When we get that reveal of Omega Red in his costume with his Ric Flair hair as well. And, he attacks him and, that's that. And then Moira on her way out of town doesn't look at the the accident. Like, I'm just trying to get out of here. I'm done. That's it. And that's the end of issue 4. Whatever. It was fine. It set it up. Again, on initial read and notes, I'm just like, this kind of sucks. Going over it with y'all, it still sucks. Thoughts on issue 4 before we go to issue 5?
How can you hate a face like this?
A mother can't love it.
I mean, it doesn't. So in rereading these, like, it doesn't show up as much in these episodes, but like, I remember this being just the time of abandoned plot threads. And I think they start introducing more and more things that just never really pay off. And so that's what I remember from this period. Like I said, it doesn't go up as much in this one, but yeah, I mean, I see what they're trying to do, trying to build the Pantheon, but Omega Red is just, I don't know. They try to push him, wrestling term, fuck you, Hulk Hogan, like right away. They try to just develop this brand new vanilla big man, and he wasn't great.
No, you're being super kind. You're being super kind that he's not great. You're being really, really nice. But yeah,
well, don't be nice. Say what you feel. He sucks donkey dick.
Yeah, he's just terrible. Yeah, he is. He's just terrible. Like, and then the funny thing is that they brought him back so many times in the modern comics, and he just comes to jog. Like, that's basically it. He
does become like a.
All right.
And I think the other thing too is by pushing him as like this solo threat, they don't really have any options. They can't team him up with somebody else. He can't come back as part of a team or anything like that. It just doesn't fit. But like, he's got a death aura. You can't be around him or you lose. It's just like that. Well, where's the story there? There's nothing there.
Yeah,
made him too powerful. You freaking, again, 90s level, 90s era villain. Way too powerful.
He has like 150 health or something.
Here we go. This was coming.
Well, this was the other.
This Marvel card looked like.
The other part of this too is this is we're living in. It's Wolverine's world, and we're just living in it.
This era starting too.
Definitely in this era. Yeah.
Trying to flesh it out without the benefit of that awful origin story, which was
and that was a thought I had last night as I was kind of going over my notes. Is that as we start, this is beginning that era where we start to peel away the onions for Wolverine, and the more we learn, the more it sucks.
Yeah.
Like it was so much better when you didn't know, and I kind of go back to that we talked about before with the Matrix or whatever. It was like, this was so cool when we didn't see Zion. Like it was like much better like when it was just an idea and we didn't see that they had all the extra holes in their body for their thing. Like we didn't see any of that and we were perfectly fine not knowing. And now, you peeled all the layers. Yeah, you peeled all the layers off and it's just like, oh, you should have not done that.
Niobe.
Yeah, come on, bro. Yeah, don't do it to yourself. All right. So issue 5 now. It is called Blowback, same creative team. Although again, I think the artist, there was a stunt cock somewhere in there, because at the end of this book is not the same. So we get an alert from Cerebro. What? Forge has picked it up. Forge, them already told Forge like, hey man, we ain't wearing these uniforms no more. that was the last team, Forge. You didn't get the update.
I think he designed it, so he's more partial to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the Forge original.
He's hoping it catches back on.
Yeah, Forge Couture. It's an unidentified mutant. Cyclops comes in full uniform. He's also in full uniform when he showed up with Xavier. But guess who's not in uniform, y'all? Betsy Braddock. She's not in uniform at all.
Damn near.
And I mean, again, I'm not mad at it, but also it's just like, well, that's kind of gratuitous. But who's reading these books, Hutch?
Probably 13, 14-year-olds with lotion.
So Cyclops is leading the team, and also we get it's like, oh, okay, we got to get out of here immediately. Okay, so there's no chance for her to like get whatever, but it looks like she mentally pulls on her members only jacket, like she couldn't have mentally pulled on like her like whatever armor she's wearing. I mean, she really doesn't have any clothes anyway. I mean, how much difference is that bikini than what her actual costume is?
Yeah, she's like, oh, hold up, let me get a roll of tape so I can put my costume on.
This is some shit out of the Fifth Element.
Yeah, again, I'm not mad. Look, Colossus is in uniform, but what else are they gonna do?
All right.
Come on.
And we don't want to answer that one question. Does that turn metal too?
Oh, sir.
Well, my question with Colossus was, does he or does he not have pants? Because he used to have like blue pants, and then he would change and he would have metal legs. I'm like, where are your pants?
Yeah.
Now he doesn't have pants.
Well, they're on the road to whatever that they've captured the villains here, and again, Gambit is going to break out everybody here. It's kind of weird that he could use his powers in a way like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hurt them and blow this whole truck up, but y'all are cool. Like nobody else is gonna get hurt here. It's fine. And so he charges the card, boom, and gets them out. And then it's just the breakout scene. A little bit of fight, comic book stuff or whatever as people start to blow out. There's Rogue with her line about her favorite dress and whatnot. But yeah, so they're looking for Wolverine, and he's in the other truck, and it's just rah, rah, rah. All right, Brother Reeves, I have a note in here. Tell me the physics and the science behind a whole ass jet flying about, I don't know, 100 yards above a bus on a road. Tell me what would be happening here.
I would have to believe the jet would be flying a whole lot faster than the thing is driving, first of all, in order to stay in the air.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we've all seen the movies where there's the wash that nobody can stand up against, and they've been on the ground.
Yeah.
But it probably wouldn't work exactly like that.
Well, you try. And so they come out of
and they rappel down on string. They just rappel down on rope.
Yes, I love it. There's Betsy giving orders in her bikini still. Just nobody even thought, whatever. Cyclops hits the driver with a blast while in a moving car. I'm like, maybe that's not the greatest move either. Fearless leader. So just comic book stuff. Whatever. Bing bang boom ends with Colossus looking pretty good walking out of the fire there.
He did go Bruckheimer.
Yeah, nothing can happen to me. It's all looking good. Just whatever. It's just like, kind of a little bit of action that, you didn't get in issue 4 to open up this book, but they're also beating up the Mulkeys. I mean, that's basically it, you know. And then the funny thing is that as they're moving on here, the vanilla big man is really, I mean, the boss on this level sucks too. Like, really? It took all of y'all to beat Omega Red? Really?
Hey. I mean, he's this is his shine moment. So yeah, it took them all. Or they try, yeah, go for it.
Well, then the book goes into the absurd here as we get to the fighting.
That wasn't absurd.
Yeah, no, it gets more absurd. And so they get into the fighting thing, you know, and Wolverine's like, oh, I think I finally beat him, but it's not. And so we get this little fight or whatever between them. But I say little, but allegedly this shit's been going on for almost 18 hours. They've been fighting each other. Like, really?
The hell?
Yeah, really? That's what we're doing here. So who's the doctor here? Who's the doctor? Is that the dude from the Weapon X project? It's freaking John Byrne, who is
Dr. Cornelius.
From
the Weapon X program.
Yeah, and that's
that's
John Byrne because he didn't
yeah.
draw it, but that's John Byrne who's drawing himself into the book, which he constantly would do. And then there's the Fenris twins or whatever. More boob window, and she's got her White Queen outfit on now. But look at the background, y'all. It's so bad.
What background? Blue?
Yeah, it's so bad. Like his background stuff just completely falls apart here.
Wow.
You got the triangle boob window and the hip cutouts.
Yeah.
Our girl, eat your heart out.
Yeah, and then they're just like, you know, Omega Red's stamina is undiminished. Okay, I guess, sure, whatever. But he takes him out, and then it gets into these parts where Hutch is talking about where we're going to get introduced to another character that's super 90s as well, who also sucks. Who sucks more, Maverick or Omega Red?
Maverick.
Most people haven't even heard of Maverick, so
yeah, but he makes it into the X-Men cartoon too, doesn't he?
He's in like
a little flashback scene, like a morph turn scene.
I think he's in the Omega Red scene.
Okay, yeah, is he? Okay.
Yeah, they go to their background. I thought they all worked together, but yeah, here we go. No, they fought with each other. Mush.
Well, we get this scene back in Berlin or whatever, and it's Sabretooth, Wolverine. They're on some elite Canadian hit squad. A Canadian hit squad, I guess, you know, that they're have some sort of mission or whatnot. And Wolverine keeps going in between, you know, back and forth, you know, between what happened in the present and what happened then. And basically, the whole plot of this thing is that they are searching for the neogenic recombinator. Complete 90s freaking plot here, but they don't call it that. What's it called?
The carbonadium synthesizer.
Yeah, they used about half the words, didn't they?
Gesundheit.
Carbonadium synthesizer.
Carbonadium? What is that? Soda machine?
New Coke.
Awful. It's just awful. We get our standard Wolverine on the cross scene too. That's something that they, you know, prolific, you know, that comes out through these comic books as well. And you start again this idea of peeling away like parts of his history or whatever. And you know, and again, I thought about this last night, Brother Beavers, you brought it up. You know, when we finally do get the origins, and it was so hyped, and it sucked so bad. It
was like 5 episodes of filler for a meh ending. It was like, wow.
Yeah, and his name, I don't even. What's his real name?
James Howlett.
James
Howlett. Yeah, whatever, man. We grew up with that nigga. He lived around the corner. Anyway, yeah. So whatever. I mean, tell me, I'm going through this one because it's just not a lot going on. Tell me what I missed.
Your own Moira McTaggart.
Yeah.
So by the way, Maverick's power is to absorb kinetic energy. That's it. He doesn't get to rechannel it or anything.
And to suck with Monster's ability.
He's Bishop. Yeah. So he's Bishop.
No, he can't release it.
He can't release it. That's what she said.
Damn.
He sucks.
Don't take it to a porno, please.
All right, so we get to this scene where Xavier's, you know, talking about, hey, you know, by the way, we have another book on sale now too, at your local comic book shop. But you know, go over there. So they have both teams together. Notice the prolific members only jackets in this shot here. There's a few.
Standard issue.
Yeah.
And Ford's changed out of his uniform. He's like, okay, you all wear it.
Yeah, I guess I'll get formal on you. But yeah, so there's something going on at the new Hellfire Club or whatever. So that's why some of them are dressed up, some of them aren't. I'm gonna call Rogue a members only jacket. Gambit got a members only duster. His longer Cyclops. And Betsy and Psylocke has one on too.
And
Banshee.
Banshee's kind of got Banshee got
gotta have them jeans to get this jacket.
Yeah, Banshee got the fake one.
Well, he ain't got no power.
No, so you don't get a real members only jacket till you get your powers back, bitch.
Right.
So it's
Drunkard.
just what's going on with the table there? Is that one of those things that was supposed to be a hologram?
No, I think it's supposed to be the sheen of the table. It's like reflective or something, I guess. Yeah, excuse me. Shouldn't be.
Hey, wow, sheen.
Yeah.
And it ain't Mark.
I could be completely wrong. I don't know what the fuck's going on with it.
Yeah, I thought it was like maybe like that. You know how they do the hologram to show like the plot of the plans that they're doing.
It's Death Star plans.
Do you notice that they also have their coffee cups have X's on them? Like they have like monogram. Like who's paying for this shit?
And they're facing the product to show it. Yeah. The funniest thing about this panel was like at the end, Storm's like, "Okay, I agree with the teams," and that I feel like they're all like, "Bitch, we didn't ask. Go to your party."
We also get the Jubilee. Well, I want to go.
Oh yeah.
Scene too.
I'm an X-Man too.
I'm an X-Man too. Let me go fight. And Betsy Psylocke is the one
who signed her up.
Yeah, let her fight. It's fine.
Signed her up. She skipped from not going to be a new mutant. I want to know.
Yeah, it is weird.
Who's worse, her or Kitty Pryde?
Yeah.
Well, they do. In fairness, they do demote Jubilee to the Generation X team at a certain point.
Yeah, but way after this.
Yeah, I saw this shot of Cyclops looking at Jean Grey. I was like, "Are you really looking like Madeline Pryor tonight?"
That I also smashed a lot.
You know what? You can go sleep at the Hellfire Club. It's awful. So yeah, and then we get to okay, well they're gonna go out on the mission. I'm gonna sit my ass in this chair because I ain't got shit else to do. Hey,
what is this secret file he's got?
Yeah, I don't know.
Again, I feel like this is another plot thread that just never pays off.
Wait till Hickman gets it.
Yeah, it's just and then again, like why even bother having the scene with freaking Banshee too? Like, hey, I know you're emasculated and shit, so go cuck someplace else, buddy. There's nothing here for you to do. So I don't know why you're even here. It's awful. I don't understand. And then here's when the art starts to go bad. Look at this. When this shifts back to Wolverine, look at that is not Jim Lee. Okay.
Well, he's taking a lot of damage, so Wolverine is seeing the world through kind of skewed eyes. So his perception is reflected in the art.
Wow. Yeah, it's super dark. It's bad.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And again, it might have been him. It just like he was like, hey man, this ain't creator owned. This is Marvel. We need these books out every 28 days. So
that's a stunt. That's a stunt car.
Yeah, I think it's a stunt car too. But still, they might have
been
a
tracer. Could be a bad tracer.
Could be that too. Yeah, I mean, just something happened. And again, we're old, so we're admitted or whatever. Maybe we just didn't know because we didn't know the dates or whatever. We just showed up and bought the books when we were there. But it seemed like them books was coming out whenever they were supposed to come out. You know what I mean? Like it didn't seem like, damn, I had to wait 6 months for one issue to come out. Not 6 months, Hutch. Come on.
Not 6. No, we ain't talking about Kevin Smith, who still ain't completed Daredevil numbers. But something I do remember a couple times. Like, wait a minute. We just if Sandman showed up with a car, we just drove to the damn place, and if the shit was there, it was there.
It was there, yeah. It wasn't
7 hours later, we would emerge with it or without it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And we just buy some other off-brand book and they didn't have it.
Exactly.
Dragon Lair era or Mavericks?
Both.
Kind of. I think we're still
Bookie
doing
parlor.
both.
Oh,
Well,
no, we didn't go there.
I don't think I went to the bookie parlor even after I was allowed to go in there.
Why are you doing that, man? You gonna bring up
Why do you think I'm doing it?
our Moira McTaggart PTSD?
Get the hell out of here, kid. Get the hell out. Sir,
Kid?
Sir,
Is
I'm
that-
32. Get out, nigga.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no.
Nigga.
Yeah.
You'd not even. You'd have been dead by then.
Bookie
Shut up
parlor
there.
dude, MAGA or not MAGA?
Oh, God. Next question.
You're right. He fought in the Civil War for real.
I assure you, his corpse was at the Capitol.
Bookie parlor guy.
Yeah, he was there in
Proud
spirit.
Boy or whatever. I don't know any.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
proud.
He was there in spirit. That's for
Right.
sure.
We got money. I don't care, nigga. Get out.
Yeah, it's awful. Yeah.
That's actual audio.
Yeah, it's really only
That's-
going with a white
That's
man
Big
front.
Hutch's ringtone.
I got money.
Yes. So anyway, they're dragging him out, and then it gets really goofy too. They're like, oh, he breaks free. I'm not quite sure how he did since all of his stuff was there. I don't know if Maverick sent like a little bomb or something.
Oh,
in there.
Maverick turned out the lights.
Yeah, but still. But his arms are like back behind. Like, how did he break
Yep,
out? Like,
But
did
the
he
lights
shoot?
were out.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah. My guess. And then he wakes up and then he's like weird because he doesn't know what's going on. I'm in the past, I'm in the future. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, whatever. And he's got the neogenic recombinator. Like, how did he get it? Like
The lights went out.
What the hell?
How
But
clear
where
do I
was
have
I
to
thought
make
they didn't
it?
know where it was.
Because it was in the dark. And then when the lights went out, he found it.
Oh, boy.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Whatever. And then I guess Jim.
There
Lee got
might have
back
been
on
a
the
couple
book, by the
missing
way.
pages. That's why they just
Yeah.
had to fill in the blanks
Yeah,
the best
yeah.
they could with the
Yeah.
fill-in artist.
Yeah, now because Jim Lee got back on the book. He's like,
I think
hey,
I
wait.
saw as we brought this up, this book's only 19 pages.
Mhm.
So
Ooh, they stole some.
they
Yeah.
did. They took out the pages we don't normally pay. We have to pay for. And
Yeah, that's it. So he's like, "Rah, no, come back here with my super neogenic recombinator or whatever. Where's my note in here? He's like, hey, surrender the canister and no, psych, I'm just gonna run.
Mm.
Okay. Like he just starts running and he takes off, which I thought was pretty funny. He's like, and stop, come back. Really? Omega Red? You got tentacles. Why didn't you like tentacle his legs and do something like that?
because the lights were out.
They were
Oh, my
recharging.
Come on, man. Yeah, it's just all bad. It's like this is not great. Whatever. But then we get back into our shift here and we see our characters, Sabretooth and everybody in there, whatever. I know this lady is gonna die at some point in these books here. The Heather Hudson looking chick, because everybody that looks like Heather Hudson around Wolverine, because that's pretty much the only woman that he's ever known besides Jean. He's not a redhead. I don't think. He's not a redhead.
Well,
So
they got wigs.
yeah, I don't know. So we get into this thing where the X-Men are going to plot to break him out or whatever. Maverick we get the full reveal here for Maverick as well. And he's
So
super
many
90s.
pouches.
So many pouches, so many big guns.
So many
Was
accessories.
Will I Am supposed to be Maverick in that movie?
No, he was shut up. He was Nightcrawler, but they couldn't do Nightcrawler because they were like, "Oh shit, we filmed this whole movie, ain't no niggas in it." I better put Will I Am in it. All right, there you go. Oops, my bad. We forgot.
Let's get it started.
Yeah, for sure. This is small penis energy too, by the way, for Maverick. Like all the guns, it's just not a good look.
Awesome.
So they're going through this whole particular plot point of, hey, use your healing factor because that's all I need you to do right now is heal. And the Wolverine or the X-Men are coming in to make the hot tag save. There's the team, and look at the art. Who the hell drew Gambit, Psylocke, and Rogue there? Look at that picture. It wasn't Jim Lee. It wasn't Jim Lee. It just looks
Jim
weird.
Lee, little brother.
Maybe. Yes. So anyway.
He might have been taking meetings with the Image.
Yeah, he was already plotting his exit.
Mm.
Yeah. So they're doing this, And then it gets even weirder. The book finishes even weirder. Definitely not Jim Lee art at the back of this thing, too. We get out to California, where all the weirdos are. And Longshot, everybody's favorite non-mutant, crashes through a window. You know, he sees Dazzler, and she's with Lila Cheney. I don't help me out here. I know the name, but I don't. Why is she's in a mutant, right? Like, was she in X Factor or something?
She can teleport?
Yeah, she can teleport on an intergalactic scale. So she's an intergalactic rock star, and Strong Guy / Guido was her bodyguard.
Okay.
So they were like mid 80s extra like flavor teams. They were like what's her name? Shit, who's the other mammy? The one the dance instructor that
Stevie Hunter?
Storm, yeah, they're like Stevie Hunter-esque characters, but they had powers. And so I don't know why she's with them necessarily, other than companion music careers. But I guess this is probably fallout from the Muir Island saga. But remember, Dazzler never really came back from the Siege Perilous. She had the one scene where she had the stalker dude kidnapped her, but she never got really back into the X-Men fold the way everyone else did.
Yeah.
And nobody cared.
Yeah.
Even me.
Well,
probably true.
Well, and then she gets followed. Longshot gets followed by one of my also least favorite characters, which is Spiral. I just cannot. It's just a terrible character too.
Well, they pushed her too back in the day.
They definitely gave her a big push back in the day.
Over Excalibur.
And then Lila Cheney teleports them out, and then we get a chance to see. Now, is this our first appearance of Mojo?
Mojo.
Is this the first Mojo, or has Mojo been in books before?
Those British Marvel comics, I think he was in, whatever the hell they called it, with Captain Britain and all that. Before Excalibur?
Oh, before Excalibur.
I think before Excalibur, if I remember right.
Or Excalibur?
Maybe it was after. Hell, I don't know.
I thought this was the first.
I can't believe this is the first.
No, it can't be.
Because they introduced him. This is like an AEW introduction. They show him like, you've been watching the indie promotions forever, and you know exactly who this is.
Mud show villain. Yeah, I don't remember seeing.
Oh, plus he was probably in the Longshot limited series, if I had to guess.
Yeah,
nothing else.
You had that too. You had that too.
That was worth some cash at one point, because I guess they probably made like 6 of them and 7 people wanted it. They're like, well, shit.
Longshot sucks. If you're listening to this and you're a fan of Longshot, Omega Red, Mojo, I don't know. I don't know why you even following us. Because
Longshot's part of the reason why Rogue looks tough now.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and 6-finger Longshot. With no powers. Yeah, and I mean, again, he came back in one of those books we were reading earlier, in like maybe on the Thursday night comic book show when it was back then. I think it was like maybe one of those X-Men books. He popped back up again, like he just will show up. But I mean, he's terrible. Like, and again, he's not even a mutant. Like, why are you even hanging out with us?
Mojo's first appearance is Longshot number 3, November 1985.
Here you go,
brother. Damn. Yep. You definitely lost an important memory pulling that out your ass. You're never gonna be able to access that memory no more. Gone. Forever.
1985.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
that sounds right.
It's before graduation. Right. Jesus, holy crap!
If I had that I know I had that horrible Nightcrawler series.
Hey,
was there a good miniseries? Was there a good like solo miniseries of any of these?
Solo? Oh man,
Wolverine.
I was going to say Wolverine, but
yeah,
that wasn't exactly solo.
But
that Wolverine God, I'm gonna take some shit for this. That Wolverine and Kitty Pryde series is not that bad.
It's awful.
The one where
she turns into a ninja. Yeah. But the final battle with him and that dude with the mask or whatever, that was kind of cool. That was
crap.
Cool. Yeah.
Man.
But I know they shoehorned Kitty into it.
Right.
Yeah.
She pulls all his guts out.
Well, speaking of which, and I had sent this to y'all in text, as that's book ended or whatever. We're talking about, people getting pushes that are unnecessary, wrestling term. And I told you to come up with some wrestlers that got pushes that didn't deserve it. So Omega Red gets pushed to the moon here. Like, he's gonna get 4 issues, essentially as the main villain, who sucks. Like, I mean, he just sucks. He has no real anything other than, like, I just want to get revenge on Wolverine. I mean, that's his real whole plot. And how can you build anything out as a villain for that? So any wrestlers that you think of that got pushed to the moon that definitely didn't deserve it?
Well, so the one I threw out on the text chain was Glacier, because we had to deal with like a months-long buildup of him coming out, and then they try to have the martial arts takeover, and Ernest the Cat Miller came out. The one I thought about subsequent to that was Brutus the Barber Beefcake. But to be fair, like, he didn't really get that much of a push, but you could put like any of Hogan's boys in that category. Like all the people who were prominently featured, at least, they were the Sunday night superstars or whatever, maybe vying for the TV title or equivalent.
Well, Beefcake got that Intercontinental title.
Did he?
I believe so.
He might have, yeah. I mean, he would have been feuding with like Greg Valentine or something. Oh no, they were partners.
My WWF watching was limited.
I didn't have cable then, so I had to watch it.
Can you think of Glacier, Blood Runs Cold, and all those freaking Mortal Kombat type bullshit? Oh my god, that was awful. Got anybody? Sandman, the one that you said is actually a good one.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior is a good one, because he got pushed literally to the top, and he's absolutely awful.
He had the look, but he was a freaking nut job. Some of those Cornette videos where he talks about him or will put you on your ass, it's so damn funny. He is a nut case.
Yeah, you get your destrucity.
Yeah, but he couldn't. Yeah, God almighty. But he literally couldn't wrestle either. Like, he had like maybe 2 moves, like clothesline.
Press slam.
That's pretty much it. Press slam. That's it. What was his finisher?
Never really left his feet, did he?
Did he run back and forth and clothesline, didn't he?
Is it, or no? Didn't he do something? He jump off the ropes and do like a little like a flop.
Press slammed you or something, right?
I thought he like did the thing where he jumped up and down and just like a press, like a flop on you, like after he ran across the ropes. He sucked. That's a really good one.
Can't think of his finisher. He sucks.
I thought he would gorilla press slam you or something, or put you over his head.
Everybody could do that. I don't think that was his finish.
Gorilla press drop and the running splash.
Running splash. That's what it was. Yep, the running splash. Run back and forth, and he would just do like a splash on him, like not even like off the ropes, like off the top of the turnbuckles or nothing. By the way, I saw Snoop Dogg jump off the top.
Oh, that was bad.
And that I wanted to just throw something through my television. Hunch, you got one? Somebody got pushed to the moon?
I told you, that Raven dude.
Yeah.
Like the fly.
I can't give you that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know he was. Well, I was out of wrestling, but I played it on video games. And I'm like, who the hell is this dude?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Like when you've got Goldberg, Nash, Hogan. Which that's a whole, like, that's where you're hoping Bane wins that match, right? And just follows the whole ring. But then Raven was an odd addition to that trio.
Cover,
he was the question.
Special with the even flow. I remember
they must have lost the rights to Flair and Sting and everybody else at that point or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, that's my. I mean, who else can? I mean, there's a lot of folks I can think of. There's a hope. But that Raven character, Ultimate Warrior, is a good one.
I was gonna say Goldberg too. I mean,
my first thing on there, I was going to type was like 3 out of the 4 people on this cover got killed, and they also Diesel is also.
Kevin Nash is not great.
Right, he would miss airplane flights, tell the people to fuck off, get fired. We got to put a substitute person in to fight.
Yeah, he's not great either. No. Yeah, I've always come back to this. It's a wrestling shtick at this point. It's the Billy Gunn push. Billy Gunn was pushed to the moon, and he sucked.
Yeah.
And he won the King of the Ring, he won the Intercontinental title, run or whatever match at WrestleMania. I mean, he sucked. And he's still at AEW. I see him in the stands every fucking day. Every time I watch AEW, and I see him standing there, and he looks like $1 million. But
the hilarious part is he towers over everybody.
Everybody,
in the
yes,
promotion.
exactly. Yeah.
I was gonna say the Kerry Von Erich.
Yeah, but he died before he could figure it out. He was also a world champion. So was freaking Ultimate Warrior. But yeah.
But the Von Erichs were an unparalleled draw in Texas. I mean,
yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Celebrities.
But whatever talent or whatever unfulfilled / they was too crazy for themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you know.
And Sid Vicious.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
They tried to push him right at the end of WCW. That was awful.
Yeah, that's a good. He sucks. He has less moves than the Ultimate Warrior.
He's just big. He's just big.
Oh, geez,
he's terrible.
I can see
Vicious
that
is
damn
terrible.
wrestling card.
Sid Vicious is a WCW. He's one of the few people that held the championship in both federations.
Wow.
About Davey Boy Smith as a singles wrestler.
Ooh, ouch. I'm about to say, I'm glad you put that little caveat on there.
He was a good Robert Gibson for Dynamite Kid.
Ooh,
he was fine.
Oh, wow.
I mean, taking up Royce for both of them. That's for damn.
That's awful. Yeah, and
he was fine. Honest, he was fine as Jim Neidhart.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
to be honest with you, Luger should be on that list.
Oh yeah.
Push to the moon.
Yeah.
Sucked.
Yeah.
Had 4 moves if on a good day.
Yeah.
Close and press slam.
Ended Arn Anderson's career 7 PA.
Yeah, exactly.
While we're at it, let's talk about them awful movies that came out over the Christmas.
Okay, I got you. I
know the one I'm thinking about.
Well, the other one that was out for a while. We just saw the other one at a different time. Okay, so if you're a fan of Wonder Woman, the character, that's perfectly fine. If you're a fan of Wonder Woman, the movies, we got a problem. The first one, again, on subsequent rewatches in the movie theater, I was like, this is actually not that bad. But you also have to remember at the time, DC was just putting out complete shit movies. And so it was like, this is the least shittiest of them. So this is a good movie. But when you watch it back on TNT, where they show it 1,000 times a week, it's like, man, outside of that no man's land scene, this movie sucks.
Yeah, that third act is terrible.
But... Yeah, oh God, it's one of the worst. Until we get to one of the other movies we're going to talk about here. And so when Wonder Woman 84 came out, I was like, oh, okay, the early reviews were, somewhat positive or whatever. And then when I pulled it up and I was like, what, 2.5 hours? This is not the Avengers. They got one freaking character in here. What the heck? Why is this 2.5 hours? And you feel every minute of it. It's awful. It's super long.
It wouldn't end. It was terrible.
It's just bad. And another third act terrible too. It's just a bad movie. Just bad.
I don't know what they were thinking.
They was thinking if we put her in enough outfits and show in whatever, dudes won't care like me. And hey, it's like a J-Lo movie.
She spends a lot of time fighting minions too in all her movies. Like her big scene in the Justice League where she saves the bank robbery. She's fighting minions.
Yeah.
She fights minions. All the Nazis are essentially minions.
Yeah, you're just throwing them around. Yeah, and I don't know if I tweeted this or I said this to y'all. What they need to do with her is lean into what they finally did with Thor in the third fucking movie. It was like, oh, this dude's a god. And then the Avengers, like lean into the power, man. Like give her make her as powerful. Then she had her freaking I can fly scene, and she was like doing around like she was.
Which was confusing as fuck, by the way.
I couldn't even finish the movie. By the way, I don't know what it was. It was just
a mess.
Yeah.
A poor script. I mean, oh yeah, it was a terrible
And
script.
the stuff with Maxwell Lord and the Wishmaker is, and then Chitara.
With the Max Lord thing, like the whole when they just tell people to like ham it up, like that is just so passe to me. Like I don't want to see just the hammy screen chewing actor. I just don't feel like you can do better than that.
Yeah.
I don't think Cheetah wasn't that much of a problem for me. I mean, I reject the notion that like, oh, she's hot now. Nobody would ever talk to her before. I mean, come on. That's she's a scientist. She works amongst scientists. They're all nerds. There's no way she wasn't going to be hooked up at any point prior to that movie. There's no possible way.
There's no possible way. There's only one woman working here within a 10-mile square radius.
But her hair was too frizzy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
One nerd would work out a formula to get to her.
Yeah.
You want to come back to my place and play Scrabble?
Yeah. And then the whole thing with like the body swapping, number one, it didn't make sense, was confusing, and it was clearly ethically wrong.
Oh yeah.
And I know that's been said, and I know that we'll fall into the category of people that are just knocking it to knock it, but like it just didn't work.
And her freaking when you gotta leave me scene, like this idea that we have Wonder Woman, this strong woman, and literally in both movies a man is telling her like, okay, go be a woman, go be yourself. Like wait, what? Like how? Wait, what? Like why is this dude telling her what she got to do, and then her freaking walk out crying scene, when she had to leave. Oh, like
J-Lo.
And she can't. Bullshit. She really can't act.
No, God, that's
a model. She's not an
terrible actress.
She can't act. She's J-Lo. This is J-Lo 2020.
J-Lo is an Oscar winner compared to Gal Gadot, sir.
But basically,
Meryl Streep.
I saw the sale. And I paid money to go see that shit.
That's awful too.
I did too.
All she did was put on outfits for 2 hours. They give me 15 or $12 at the time.
Hutch, did you see Wonder Woman?
No, because I'm in love with Gal Gadot. I'm not gonna
ruin
money.
ruin my images or whatever of that.
I just need the pictures, thanks.
No, well then Sandman and I jumped on the grenade of the New Mutants movie. It's better than Wonder Woman. I've tweeted that, and I mean,
I guess I can say that.
There's no expectation that it was going to be good, and it's not good.
No,
but you didn't have any expectation that it was going to be. You can tell there were definitely like probably 3 different movies made, and between all the reshoots and stuff, like they just were like
they didn't know what they were doing.
Whatever. I don't know. Like whatever. This
it's happened to be more characters.
I mean, it's super dark too, and I think it's just to cover up the shit. Like you can barely see anything in the movies, like in any action sequence or whatever. I just think it's like, let's just shoot it really dark so nobody can see that we're fucking
trying to make it a horror movie.
Ghost Bear of Daniel or whatever.
Yeah, the mutant, the mystical bear,
Demon Bear,
which I've actually read the actual saga.
Yeah,
it's better than that.
I have it. Yeah, and I have it, and so I can go in super fresh and like, oh, maybe I can make a heads or tails of this. No,
it was completely. There was no reason to make that movie outside of they just wanted to make a movie. With
what it was? It was like, hey, let's take this girl who's blonde, and because we want to freaking jerk off to Ilyana and give her this sword, let's make a movie about that. Cool. That's basically what it was, because she's really the only one whose powers you got a chance to see that made sense. I mean, Sunspot. He had much more of a shine in Days of Future Past. So, that nigga was dead in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, so. He had the job. He was the number one job in every conflict with the Sun.
Exactly. Yeah, one of the first ones down. And
black or
and no, not in this movie. They white.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Oh, he was.
And then Cannonball. He was nothing. I mean, he was. There's a literal scene, and Sandman can confirm this. There was literally like he was a human tetherball. Like he was out on a playground and they tied him to like a thing so he could go and spin around and do his power. Like, I mean, he was a fucking tetherball.
And we should call you Cannonball.
We should instead of tetherball.
Awful.
Just awful. It's bad.
I'm not getting them 2 hours back.
And then in the end, it was like, oh, then it turned into I Am Legend at the end. It was just these freaking zombies that are, I assuming they were some sort of manifestation of something or whatever. But all right, there's demons here. And then, oh, we're going to go to limbo and back and forth.
Speaking of somebody that got a push and they love bringing her out, Magic.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And speaking of somebody they made her spun the wheel to figure out what her powers were.
Yeah.
About to say that.
Yeah, she's a masturbatory character. That's all it is. She's a complete masturbatory character.
She would be a good addition to Force Factor. She's got like a bunch of vulnerabilities and flashy powers.
What is it, cheap shot night? What the fuck, man? The he to ho ho.
Why is Force Factor always got to take the L's on?
You really had to ask that question?
Yeah,
don't bring out the number 7 or whatever it was.
Hey, that was you know who.
Number 7.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
So yeah, those are our movie reviews. There's been a lot of comic book movie news. We won't want to push this too far back, but we'll get to it at some other time. There are no real comic book movies coming out anytime soon. I guess maybe tomorrow. To the summer.
Tomorrow.
Wait, what?
WandaVision tomorrow.
Oh yeah, not even like in about an hour and a half.
I
definitely have to decide how I'm gonna figure that out. I think I'm just gonna watch it at work.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, no way. Gotta watch it. And I think they're gonna release the first 2 episodes or 3. 3 initially. So watch that.
Tell me how it is.
I'm gonna jump on a really weird grenade here too, and 2 of them actually. That Olsen girl, kind of hot.
Yeah, she is.
I was kind of fighting it for a while, but there's something going on there that if she didn't have that name to be associated with them other 2 freaks, I'm like, something going on.
Well, she was grown in a separate pod from the other 2.
Is that what it is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah. And then the lady that's playing Agatha Harkless or whatever that's in that thing. Now I can't remember her name.
I think I read Kat Dennings is in WandaVision.
Is she? Oh, okay.
Yeah. As Darcy again.
As Darcy.
Yeah, Darcy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I can't remember who's playing that, but she's in all those crazy movies, like Bad Moms, and she was on some drama show on she was on some drama show on HBO that was this past year too. That my wife and I watched. I can't remember what her name is, but I like that.
Talking about.
Yeah, so she was crazy ass naked in that HBO show. Just FYI, I mean crazy naked, like all the way naked. So what is that lady?
Kat Dennings.
Catherine Hahn.
Catherine Hahn, that's the one. Yeah, she was in like Step Brothers. She's been in every freaking stupid, crazy, funny movie. Crazy. Yeah, super naked in that Mrs. whatever show, Doubtfire. I don't know what the fuck it was.
No, it's Mrs. Marshall or something.
I don't know, but yeah, it's based on a book. I didn't read the book, but I saw
the one on Amazon.
Naked. I don't know what I'm saying. Naked. Anyway, all right. So let's wrap up this show here tonight.
Mrs. Fletcher.
Mrs. Fletcher, thank you. Get a chance to go watch your WandaVisions. We have plotted that we were actually going to review this every time that there's a new comic book show or whatever. We're like 3 issues in. You know what? We probably should have recapped that. We're like, whatever. So this one shouldn't be too scary, so I should be able to watch it. Not like that other thing y'all watch. The ultimate goal here. What was that shit called? Chihuly?
That was the Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. We knew we were gonna watch that shit.
Yeah, there was no chance. So
I distinctly remember the episode. I was like, "Oh no, hell no!" He's
good. He's out. Yeah, I tried, man. I did. I queued it up a couple times, and I got scared. So yeah. Anyway, as the X-Men, the animated music starts to play us out. Remember, you can find this podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. If you're watching it on YouTube, subscribe, leave a review, something like that. So I'm gonna sign off as a producer. Go ahead and sign off, Sandman.
All right, folks, just chill to the next episode.
Yeah, it won't be 2 months. I feel confident in that. Brother Beavis. Oh, I feel good. I feel good.
I just figured out it's like the Oreo sign off. I see how it is.
Oh,
White dude goes in the
shit.
middle.
You know what though? It's almost Black History Month where you can it's on everything. So, I just thought about that. It's February's right around the corner, man.
Shut your fucking mouth for a month. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get my shots in at Big Hutch now before February.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
No, it's fine. Good to catch up. See you guys next time.
Sure. Hutch sign off.
Good night, all you happy people.
Yes. All right. WandaVision forever. Peace, everybody.
Peace.